Hello everyone, I'm going to be talking about the history of the Mildred L Batchelder Award. Um, the award obviously itself is in honor of Mildred L Batchelder. The award is a citation awarded to an American publisher for a children's book considered to be the most outstanding translated book of the year. Books eligible for the award are those originally published in a foreign language in a foreign country and subsequently published in the United States. The purpose of this award is to encourage international exchange of high-quality children's books by recognizing U.S. publishers of such books in translation. Before 1979, the award was given to a book published 2 years previously, and nominees for the award which were publicly announced. Beginning in 1979, the award was given to a publisher for a book published in the preceding year. 2 awards were announced in 1979, one for 1978 and one for 1979. Beginning in 1994, an honor book and publisher were selected and announced as well. The award is selected annually unless the award committees, as of the opinion, no book of that particular year is worthy of the award. Currently, the Batchelder Award is presented to the winning publisher during the membership meeting of the Association for Library Services for Children held during the ALA annual conference each summer, which, fun fact, Mildred L Batchelder used to be the co-executive of that committee. The award is given and administrated by the Association for Library Services to Children for the American Library Association. So, yeah, that's it.
Hi everyone, this is the book review for the wonderful Fluffy Little Squishy. This book is the 2016 Mildred Batchelder Award winner. This book is written and illustrated by Beatrice L. Magna. We know that this award was given to books that are written outside the US, not in English, and then translated into English for publication here in the US. This book was translated by Claudia Bedrick, and it was translated from French into English. This is Edith. She goes by Eddie, and she's our story's heroine. And here's a cute some pictures with her personality. And this statement kind of is the crux of the story. She thinks she doesn't know how to do anything. So when she hears her little sister say, "Birthday, mommy, fuzzy, little squishy," she thought her sister had a jump on her mom's birthday, and she wanted to get in on it too. She knew she had to get something special for her mom. So she went to the bakery, and she didn't find a wonderful fluffy little squishy. She got a roll instead. And then she went to the tailor where she got a button, but not what she was really looking for. And here she is trekking all over town looking for her mom's present. The butcher doesn't help her very much either. And finally she found her fluffy little squishy. And these are all the things she thought it could be used for. And here's what her mom did with it when she gave it to her. She wore it as a pretty hat. She loved it. And here are Edith's band of helpers. The tailor, the butcher, the baker, all of the people that helped her get on her way. The story was really cute. I hope you guys liked it too.
Hi guys, for my book review, I chose to pick The Thief Lord, and The Thief Lord, sorry, there was a glare. The Thief Lord is about two orphans named Prosper and Beau who flee to Venice, where they join a group of children they're like runaways that work for the Thief Lord, and they basically try and figure out what's going on with the Thief Lord. It's like a huge mystery book, kind of just fun and like weird, just, weird quirky book, and I really liked it. This book won the Mildred Batchelder Award in 2003, and it's awarded mostly to publishers who translate from a foreign language, and the translation is done well, and the book is good. So this award was established in 1966, and it was for a children's book considered to be the most outstanding of a group of books originally published in a foreign language or in a foreign country, and subsequently translated into English and published in the United States. And this book, I haven't seen the original language, but this book was very well written. It was easily understood, because sometimes things get lost in translation. This book was not easy it was very easy to follow. It was just an overall good book.
Hi guys, so today I'm going to be here talking to you about the criteria for the Mildred L Batchelder Award. With this one, it focuses on different types of criteria that will be eligible for this award. The first one, it focuses the attention on primary attention to the directive of the text. So the picture books that are considered only if the text is substantial and at least as important as the pictures. So they want the illustrations to be out there and the text in. Second part of this is relationships to the original work. So they need to give credit to the original person who wrote the story. They should have translation to the plot, the characterization, setting, and etc. It must favor of the original work and should review the viewpoint. The second part of that would be reflection, so the style that the author wrote it in. The next one, the book should be unduly Americanized. The book's reader should be able to sense that the book came from the country. The next one, folktales, unfortunately, are not eligible. The next one is the quality of the United States book. So in this category, the book should have textual qualities, which include interpretation of the theme, the concept, the accuracy, clarity, the organization, the style, the characters, and the plot. In all the cases, the committee members must consider the manner of the book and potential of children's audiences. The next one, in some children's books, illustrations are important, and some they may not be as important. In considering such book, consideration should be given to the original illustrator work in the US edition. Another part of this portion is the aspect of the overall book should has less effective of the children's book, such aspects such as the illustrations, the type of face, the layout, the book jacket, anything that deals with the book, they're going to look at it. Thanks. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Read the book Cry Heart But Never Break. It was the Mildred L Batchelder Award winner in 2016. Let's take a look inside. Here I am inside the book Cry Heart But Never Break by Glenn Ringstad. As you can see, death is here. This story is that death has come to the house of 4 children to take their grandmother, and they try to distract him so he will not take her. Death feels pity for the children, so he tells the story of 2 brothers, sorrow and grief, and 2 sisters, joy and delight, and how both of them knew something was missing until they met each other and had balance in their life. I hope you enjoyed our journey into the book. Cry Heart, but Never Broken. Let your tears of grief help bring new life. The standard that came to mind when I read this book was RL 5.6. How does the narrator's point of view influence events?
Hi, the book I want to review is the winner of this award, and it's called The Shadows of Gadem. It is not a picture book, it's actually a chapter book for young adults. It's very, very interesting to read as well. So while it doesn't have pictures that you can look at, it paints a vivid picture of what life was like for women and young girls in Libya at the time of this book. I was not able to get a physical copy of this book, but I was able to get an iTunes digital version or iBook. So, yay technology. There it is. It is about 165 pages on my iPhone, so maybe around 100 pages or so. It's not super long, but it's about a girl who's 12 years old who lives with her family in Libya. And it goes into how her father has to leave to go on a trip. He's a merchant. And she is left home with her mom and his other wife. He has at least two wives that they've mentioned so far in the book. So she lives with her mom and then another mom. His dad has two wives. Her dad has two wives, and she has siblings as well. And it talks about her brother getting to do a lot of things because he's a boy that she isn't able to do. The girls and women aren't allowed on the main street. They have to stay on the back streets. They're never allowed to really talk with men out in public. They, like, since her dad is gone out of town, they have to put a special lamp on outside of their house so all the men in the town know not to come there because there's not a man in the house, and they're not allowed to talk to other people, like other men, while he's gone. And so if they do, it's really taboo. And so this story goes on about there's a ruckus in the streets one night, and they hear someone being chased by the authorities, and they don't really know what's going on, but they find later the guy that was being chased, he had gotten injured and he was laying in the streets. And so her dad's other wife, she saw him and felt bad for him and took him into their house. So they could have already gotten big trouble for that, but they have him hiding because they didn't want him to die in the streets. So it's very interesting just as far as the story goes, but then they put these hints of what it's like to be living as a woman and as a young girl. Like, since she's 12, she's almost of married age. Her mom was married at 12 to her dad, so it's very different than what a 12-year-old girl might be going through right now, hopefully, here in America. But so that alone is different. Her brother getting to do things with her dad that she normally can't do. Just simple rights that we have here in America that we take for granted, things like that. So it's really great discussion point to have with maybe a fifth grade class or fourth grade class, that you can really talk about differences, but then also get to talk about similarities. Like, she still thinks and acts like a 12-year-old, and she has thoughts and feelings just like they do, and getting to make those connections as well as seeing the differences would be really great for any classroom to talk about differences in culture, but also how we are the same. So this was a great read.
Hi everyone, so I'm going to present to you Mildred Leona Batchelder and a little bit about her life. So she was born on September 7th, 1901 in Lynn, Massachusetts. Her father was a businessman and her mother was a schoolteacher. Many of her childhood summers were spent at a camp which they called the Rocky Island. It was just off the coast of Massachusetts, surrounded by marshlands. She explored and became to really appreciate nature during these times. Every evening, her mother read to her. Her mother believed that providing a cultural and literary stimulus was very important. They would travel to experience different theater and different types of films. Mildred was the academic child between her and her sisters. However, she did suffer from some illnesses such as allergies, asthma, eczema, and even a possible thyroid condition. She actually didn't even start elementary school until she was 7 years old. She later attended college at 17 years old and received her Bachelor's of Liberal Studies degree in 1924 from New York State Library, Albany. She never planned on going into children's work. However, during her schooling, she took a month-long practice work in the children's department of Cleveland Public Library and enjoyed it very much. This is where her career began within the library profession. She began working at a library in Omaha, Nebraska, where she worked for only 3 years. She then became a children's librarian at St. Cloud State Teachers College, but was fired after a year because of her forcefulness towards her boss. Now, some people would consider her to be tyrannical, and others would have said that she had the embodiment of professional excellence. She wasn't afraid of not being liked by people. In 1928, Mildred moved to Evanston, Illinois, which became her permanent home, where she became librarian at Haven Elementary School. The American Library Association was very close to her location, and she began to form relationships with some significant people who worked there. Eventually, she was able to become a part of the staff at the American Library Association and spent the next 30 years promoting the translation of children's literature there. Because she worked at many schools and in many different libraries, she noticed how inadequate the libraries were. This drove her to creating her first goal within the American Library Association to get public librarians to start working within the schools. Racism was a huge issue to her, and she believed African Americans deserved equal rights just as the white children had. She brought to light the discrimination against minorities and the rights of women. One of her goals was to eliminate barriers to understanding between people of different cultures, races, nations, and languages. During her hard work, she did suffer from chronic arthritis, but she did not let it affect her when achieving her goals. She wanted multiculturalism to be integrated within children's literature, and she was going to do just that. Books were essential to democracy and global peace efforts. Her first international effort was the Latin American Project, which proved the need for literature in Latin America. She wanted to provide translated books all over the world in order to improve international understandings. Good books should be accessible to all children within their native language. And she did this, which is then we're going to present to you the Mildred Batchelder Award. She retired at 65 years old and passed away at 96 years old in 1998. And here I have a couple of pictures of her. There, she was younger. Here is the award itself. Are you able to see that? And then this is her at old age. Thank you for watching.